what do you think's gonna happen? Man, this is the thing that has been dawning on me because I guess I'm slow as fuck. But, I've been thinking, like, what's gonna happen to stand-up comedy? Like, what, like, the other day I was talking to my booking agent and, like, just getting the lowdown on what's happening out there. And the whole industry is paralyzed right now. And, I just was wondering, what's your take on it, man? You've been hitting the road for so long. Like, what are you what is out there? What signal are you getting out there?
My situation is as follows, and this is, everybody's situation is different in this. You have a wife, you have a child, you like creating, you're very comfortable creating different things. You've always done great. This isn't your first time at the rodeo. You have other shows that you've sold before. Yeah. And finally you found the one. You got to kiss a couple frogs before you meet a prince. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So for a guy like you right now, you're safer than fuck. I'm just waiting for Netflix to put in the second order for the second season. I'm not jinxing you, but they'd be crazy if they wouldn't. So you've got another year covered. Okay? That's you. Myself, I do videos for, different corporate events and the podcast. We're not getting rich, but we're afloat. Okay?
Yeah.
As far as the road is concerned, hey, I don't know who this fucking Fauci guy is. And I don't know who half these people are that are telling us what's going on. I know that I've had friends that have had it. And I had a kid that I went to high school with, died from it. I want to give him Dave Phillips, rest in peace. I had to beat him up one day because I thought he robbed my house. We were like 15. Somebody robbed my house and they put him on me. And I caught him in a bowling alley hallway. He couldn't get out. I caught him in the fucking hallway. And I apologized to him later when I found out who robbed my house. Yeah. And over the years, we connected, and we were dear on Facebook. He's one of those sad stories that went to the hospital, and they sent him home, and then went back and died in the hospital.
God damn.
So I don't know what's going on with conspiracies. I don't know if you should wear a mask. I don't know if you should put Clorox in your veins. I don't know if you should. I'll tell you what's going to work for Joe Diaz. I just told you what's going to work for Duncan, and I'm going to tell you what's going to work for Joe Diaz. Joe Diaz is probably going to do some type of residency at the Brea Improv, 2 Tuesdays a month maybe 1 Wednesday a month up in Oxnard. And I'm going to continue to wear a mask. I'm going to continue social distancing times 10. No headshots, no nothing. Basically, no nothing. I mean, I got to know who you are and what your background is. I have a system for comedy. You know how you've been in a comedy club, and when you get there, you're not in the door 2 minutes, and there's 10 knocks on your door with 10 people who want to know what song you want to go on, what you want to eat. They want to introduce themselves. There's a girl here named Melissa. Do you want? No. Yeah. So I'm cutting that down to one person. Every club's going to have a COVID advocate.
Right.
Mask, gloves, pick us up, clean car. I want to smell the Lysol. And that's, I'm just going to feel out the waters. If it's too crazy, I pull the plug. I've been doing this for 30 years. I got nothing to be embarrassed about. It's better to quit ahead than quitting. It's a big fucking difference.
Yeah.
And
but what about just from financially, if they're going to do like half, if they're going to fill the room with half as many people, I mean, that affects everything. That affects the club's overhead. That affects everybody.
Listen, it's called the COVID-19, but what it should be really called is pay cut.
Yeah.
Remember Paul Mooney? You and I grew up on Paul Mooney.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, he'd look at us and say, man, you got your nigga wake-up call. Everybody gets that nigga wake-up call. No matter what color you are. I'm not being racist. I'm just telling you the truth. We just got our nigga wake-up call. The flights, People are not traveling. Hotels, you want to do it. You want to do an interesting. You want to write a new series of Midnight Gospel. All you got to do is go to La Cienega and make a left onto Melrose and drive down Melrose. That's the new season of Midnight Gospel. So I don't know. I don't have a fortune ball in front of me. Number one, I don't want none of my friends to get hurt. And then number two, I don't want anybody who comes to my show to get that shit.
Right.
So how guilty would I feel for $25? You came to see some fat fucking fella and crack jokes, and you got COVID-19 now
Right.
for 4 days. I love these people that they reel them out of the hospital rooms and they're clapping and they're like, he's been here for 40 days. Wait till that motherfucker gets the bill. Wait till he gets the bill. Especially in New York. Wait till he gets the bill. So there's a lot of tumbling that's going to happen that we haven't even seen yet. We stay closed till July 15th. We're not going to have that much comedy left to do here in Los Angeles. They might be up in the rural areas, whatever. But for the most part, listen, you got your health.
Yeah.
You've got your child. You've got your little show. That's a fucking tremendous show. It's the mind of Duncan Trussell, and that's all we need to worry about right now. Nobody, I can't call you up and say, Duncan, I don't know if I can make your birthday December 9th this year. How bad is that? We live in a society right now that I don't know what November 8th is going to be like.
Right.
I don't know if I could fly home to see you Thanksgiving. I don't know if I could. I don't know. How are you going to feel when you step on a plane and reality hits? And all of a sudden United told you the plane is 40% full, but you got like a guy like me sweating, sitting in the middle seat, pork fucking grinds on your shoulder. How are you going to feel? So this is going to take a time to heal. Where are you at right now as process of healing? Let's talk about it, because this is like mourning. What happened was we said goodbye to our old life. You've already mourned your dad. You've mourned your mom, which you haven't even started to yet within.
Right.
But now we have a third mourning, which is this. Our old lives. Life, what life used to be like. When I could see Duncan give you a hug and pick you up.
Yeah.
Now I got to fucking do a straw, a line or something, give it to you and light it on fire. We can't even use the same line. How do you feel right now post your old life?
Man, you know how that shit is. It's hitting me in waves. It's like where it really started hitting me is when I realized, the Comedy Store is, I was thinking like, what are the reasons I stay in LA? And one of the big reasons with the Comedy Store, I only went up there Fridays and Saturdays, but that was everything. I mean, I loved that, or even just knowing I could go up there, or knowing if I wanted to on any night, I could drive there and see friends and hang out and just, absorb the energy at the place. And so that is what's hitting me the hardest, man, is I keep thinking of Mitzi, and I keep thinking of all those names on the wall, and I keep thinking of all those years that, different people worked to keep that place afloat, and all the times that it was going to shut down. And I just keep thinking of how expensive it is to have a place on Sunset Boulevard. And I just keep thinking like, damn, I mean, let's say they do open up, but you can only do half capacity. And, I just keep, for me, I just wonder what's going to happen to that place. And then from there, I don't know if you've been reading about this, but all these staple clubs in LA are really probably going to shut down, man. They can't stay open. They got to pay rent and they can't. They've got no money coming in.
For me, I got to be honest with you. I'm high risk. Not as high risk as a lot of other people. I have some muscular to me. I work out. I still get a hard on. I'm still halfway there. I want them to open up the businesses. But right now, just a couple of them, little by little, to see how people... My whole thing is the reaction of the people.
Yeah.
The reaction of the people. Will social distancing work? I will tell you, as an observant guy, I'm always looking for cops and drug deals. You know me, I'm a fucking wackadoo. That just it's unnatural for us to social distance. Our own being attracts us to other people by mistake.
Yeah.
If every time I see you, I got to take the fucking ruler out, 6 feet, whatever, 10 feet. Just all that shit. That's not going to work. The mask, wearing a mask cuts your chances down by 18% or whatever. We're coming up last. If we open up with sporting events, baseball games, that's when comedy comes back. Now, there's two trains of thought here, Duncan. You and I both know that if the Comedy Store opens in August and they open at 170% capacity in the main room, how long is that going to last?
Yeah.
Peter's a businessman, but that's it. I don't think a lot of comedy clubs are going to last if this goes to August or whatever. Even if they open up next week, you're opening up a week before Labor Day. You've been home since March 15th. Nobody wants to see some fucking guy at night sitting indoors.
Right.
A lot of people low financially. The thing I think about all the time is the financial woe in this country.
Yeah.
We don't see it because we hang out with people who make $100,000 a year, $90,000 a year.
Yeah.
But I talk to people on the phone every day who make $60,000 a year. And they're not going to be going to concerts for a long time.
Right.
A lot of people aren't going to be doing a lot of things for a long time. So I'm just really focusing on my health right now.
Yeah.
Focusing on writing. Did I even say comedy writing? Focusing on writing. I'm not even writing comedy. Why am I wasting that energy for?
Right.
Whatever material we were working on, throw it away. Because you're going to have a new mindset after that. This is going to change you. This is going to change all of us. Because it's going to make us think for the first time how we haven't thought about in years. Right. We have a lot of free time to think right now. And some of it is good and some of it is bad. But soon enough, it'll all become good and it'll clear the way for what's coming up in the next couple of months.
Right.
But I just don't want you or any of my friends or anybody who listens to this podcast to... Tonight is May 15th, correct? Tonight they could open up places. I hope that you're not going to a club tonight.
Right.
I hope that if you buy a gram of blow, you stay home and do it with one of your friends and try them out first. You got to build your immune system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you're not going to
shit.
go to fucking Club Fresh. Go to a gay club with three of them, 3 gay guys. Start talking to them. Take your gram of blow. Lower your fucking resistance. And see where you're at,
Right.
I don't see I'm going to be honest with the church family and with you, Duncan, because I always am. The other night, I usually go to the weed store in the morning to keep the percentages of germs down. I do all my errands early. I had to go to Walgreens this morning. I was there at 8:01. All right? Because they spray that mist at night.
Yeah.
So I go in the morning to avoid that stuff. What was I going with the story?
How do you feel about going out? You were at places early. You went to the weed store.
Well, I went to the weed store the Friday night. I was bored, and they've got these new pills over at Urban Trees called Ultra. These pills will fuck you up. I ate like 8 of them, and I was actually fucking, when not drooling. What's the other word? When you slurring. The first night I took them, I ate the whole can. Even my wife was like, "What are you doing with your life?" I was fucking slurring. So I've been eating these Pro Tabs. I drink a fucking Quickies because I gave up the edibles because the edibles were backfiring on me. They were taking me to a dark place. Once I got away from the dark place, now I'm back with the edibles. It's fucking Wednesday. We got to get the party started.
Yeah.
I already did business Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm with my brother Duncan, and but going back to your question, I don't want to do stand-up on the road for at least 9 months. I will set up a residency here, work on a whole new hour. I'm going to see what people's reaction are. Are people still going to want to come shake your hand and touch you? And, hey, excuse me, can we do a selfie? Right now, listen right now closely, people, if you're listening to this, and this comes directly from me, Duncan, and I'm sure I could speak for Ari Shafir when I say this. Take that selfie stick and that selfie thought and shove it up your mother's ass. There ain't no more selfies in comedy, all right? You want to send a selfie, you do it like what everybody else does. Send me a 20, I'll send you a side shot of one of the nut sacks, and I'll autograph it for you. How's that? Give that to Grandma for Thanksgiving.